don't need a dime, bitch, I'm still a high roller.
Alright guys, so the match is underway now. We're going to check out the play of the day. Heading in for the cap circle of my Churchill 3. We're going to see how this goes. Kind of heading into this area by myself initially, which had me a little bit worried just due to my lack of mobility. Good rate of fire on the Churchill 3, but really no damage to speak of. But luckily we're in a tier 3 to 5 match, so being that I'm highest tier, I know that I can at least penetrate everything. But then again, pretty much everything can penetrate me depending on where they hit me, so I figured the best place to be in this match is to get right down into where everybody wants to be. So of course now I hit my first obstacle, the hill. Taking a few peeks, I guess, to see who's around me, kind of getting my bearings here. I wasn't really initially planning on heading into the cap circle. But I decided that with everybody kind of around me that it would make sense. And there's my first friend there, the M5 Stewart. He actually decides to beat a hasty retreat, and we'll see him a little bit later. We're already starting to pull away, so my confidence is growing ever so slightly. Everything that I was worried about that was behind me is actually being taken care of quite nicely. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Thinking I'm in a good position, I'm just going to hold, get some capture points, and see how things go. They're starting to roll in now. There's our friend, the M5 Stewart. Unfortunately, no shot for me, but we'll see him again. What kind of had me concerned about this match was actually the fact that they had 3 artillery, so me being spotted was just an overall bad thing. Not having 6th sense made that even worse. Now, if anybody watches my videos, you know that I like to keep them pretty down and dirty. I don't even normally will do a lot of commentary on this, but for this one I thought it makes sense, because if anybody was just watching it, they'd go, this battle's like shit. This doesn't really make a lot of sense. So here comes my first victim. And he gave me a nice critical hit there, but no real damage. And this is what I was meaning, like, you can see my rate of fire. You know that I'm hitting you 3 times for every shot that you're hitting me, and what do? You just sit here. This was a challenge I was looking forward to with this Churchill 1. I really wanted to kind of get in with it, and you can see that I actually decide he kind of pulls around one side of the hill, so I decide that I'm going to try to creep over, creep being the key word, creep over the top of the hill, and then get down on the other side, and hopefully, now that he's engaged, put some shots into him. But as we find out, I start to immediately run into some problems when I get into the top of this hill with the Stug 3. So he gave me a hit there for 139 damage, does some damage on the tracks, hasn't crippled me yet. I get some damage spotting that M5, which is great. He's out of the picture now, taken out by the Su-85. So now, the one weird thing that I couldn't figure out is, like, I couldn't, while I could see where the Stug 3, the last position, was on the map, I really thought that I could see him. So this is why I wanted to pull as far back as possible, hoping to, you know, re-engage that Churchill 1, and I almost had my opportunity here. And then he decides, No, I'm not going to do it. So, decide to move back into position, and this is where I run back into our good friend, Mr. Stug 3. We're starting to get those capture points again, which is really what I was after right from the get-go in this match. I just figured I'm just going to try to get to the cap circle, see what happens, and here we go. So got a critical hit there. 76 damage there, and this is the thing, 157 up to 234 now. He's bouncing off me, and yet he still continually decides to sit there the entire time, never moving, never trying to reposition anything. And he could seriously outmaneuver me if he really wanted to. I mean, I don't bother moving because of obvious reasons. And then here comes the third victim that I have, and this one really got me with this Tyrann here. Sitting there putting shell after shell in his side. Now he does chip away at me a little bit, but this is where I would move. Like, and I even take a small hit from the Sexton too, which I didn't even realize when I was playing this match that I got that hit, only throughout the replay. So now really basically what I'm doing now is going to be duck and run for the rest of the match. The match is pretty much over here. The game has been decided. We kind of know where we're going to go. And you'll see now that some, artillery hunting is happening quite steadily. And we'll watch those three artillery guys fall. I think there's a Sexton 2, a Birch gun, and something else that I can't remember. But those guys fall pretty fast now. Really what they have left is they have the one tank destroyer, that IKV-103, or LKV-103 I should say. And that's going to be the longest standing guy now. He even outlasts the two artillery guys, which they disappeared at the same time. I don't even know what happened there. I wish I kind of seen that. And really for me at this point, I'm just kind of waddling around trying to figure out what the hell should I do with 128 hit points left. And really I decide to do a whole lot of nothing. I do check to see if I have a shot. I fire off a couple of pot shots just to see if I had anything, like an idiot. Because I figure, what the hell, I got 117 rounds. I mean, might as well fling out a few for no apparent reason. But I've decided to just keep capturing the base. I really wanted to ensure that we wiped out the team, because you typically do better that way than capture points. So this is where, I will roll out in a few seconds. You'll see I'll roll out and kind of come back in. Unbeknownst to me, though, at this time, there was somebody else in the cap circle. Once again, not paying attention. At this point of the match, I wasn't really focused on anything, just kind of doing my thing. But I roll out, cap drops a little bit, giving them some more time, which I'm sure they had ample time to take care of that guy. And there we go, and it's going to be all over in a few seconds. But yeah, really, that was the thing. 3 vehicles coming up against me, all easily seeing the rate of fire that I have and the fact that I'm chipping away at them, and yet none of them decide to move, knowing that they could easily outmaneuver me. And so that was the lesson to be learned in this game. People, you gotta move. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Do appreciate it.